Hello, everybody. Day 12 of Texans training camp in the books. I'm Daniel Gotera reporting out here at NRG Stadium once again. It was hot. That's one thing I noticed today. That sun was blasting on these guys pretty good, but they got in a good team workout today after their preseason victory over the Saints on Saturday. Look, the big story continues to be the debut of rookie running back Dameon Pierce. We'll hear from his offensive coordinator, Pep Hamilton, on that here in a little bit. But one of the things that I took away from this camp practice continues to be how Derek Stingley Jr., the third overall pick, is talking to veteran wide receiver Brandon Cooks after practice. Look, that is a valuable resource to have for that young man. We have not seen Derek in a preseason game yet. All indications are that he's going to play on Tuesday. Well, he's going to play on Friday. Today is Tuesday. Sorry about that. He's going to play on Friday against the Rams. We need to see him in action. Lovie Smith said he is going to play in the preseason, and I'm guessing that Friday night against the Rams is going to be that. But talking to Brandon Cooks, you'd like to be kind of a fly on the wall in those conversations because there's probably a lot of knowledge exchange between Brandon and Derek. We've heard from Jonathan Joseph, former Texans cornerback. We heard from him during the broadcast saying that Derek is a smart guy, so I have no doubt that he's going to adjust really well when he gets in there. So let's get into some of the sound that we heard from today. Let's start with Pep Hamilton, the offensive coordinator, talking about Dameon Pierce, and then we'll get into some of the other guys. I'll show you who those guys are on the screen as they start talking, but here's the sound today from Texans camp.
I think the focus was more so, and this was a decision that Nick Caserio and our personnel staff made. Just, you're looking at what players can do. All right, there's a ton of different offenses in college football, and it's hard to at times try and predict how a player that plays within a scheme is going to be able to adjust and adapt to the pro game. But we do know that certain skill sets have a better chance of adapting to our game. The plan was for us to come out and really try and establish just a physicality, a physical nature in how we want to approach the game, and we feel like for the most part, our guys came out and they played hard for 4 quarters.
Man, praise God, it's been awesome because we got a good room. A lot of brothers in there, so everybody's been learning from each other. Like, young dudes pick up from Malik. Leek's been learning from some of the younger dudes. Like, I learned a crap ton from Beezy, Jerry, Rio, Damone, just watching each other. So we got a real close-knit group. And so, like, when you got that and guys kind of, like, humble themselves and, like, take things from one another, because we continue to learn every single day. And so that's been a real good, and that's what Jock teaches in there too. And so it's been a blessing. It's been helpful for everybody's game.
I wasn't here last year, obviously, but just as a unit collectively, I know for a fact that we're working together more as one, and communicating a lot better, and just relying on each other to be in the right place at the right time. And we had some good runs on Saturday night, and we're gonna have the mentality to carry that over into this game against the Rams and then the next one and then into the regular season.
No, I don't think anybody on this team, is worried about their play time, their reps, what quarter, things like that. To me, this football team needs to get better. This is a special teams game unit that needs to get better. Every day we go out there, we just want to compete. Doesn't matter the quarter we're in. And, this is the cutting time of the season. So hopefully everybody's licking their chops to jump on any rep possible.
So that's what the guys had to say today out at practice. You heard from Pep Hamilton there talking about his offense, but earlier in camp we saw something pretty cool. Hamilton was coaching his son Jackson Hamilton, who is a quarterback at Pearland High School, and I gotta say, I think he's going to be the starter. He's a sophomore going into his sophomore year. The kid has an arm. He's got a pretty good coach. His dad is coaching him. I talked to Hamilton after his availability today about what it's been like to see his son develop as a quarterback, and he had some interesting things. It's that whole father-son thing. The son doesn't tend to listen to the father, even though he's an NFL offensive coordinator sometimes. Take a listen. Pep, I got to ask you about the quarterback you have at home. You've been coaching quarterbacks a long time, but the one at home means a lot to you. What are those sessions like with your son?
It's a lot more difficult than you would think because.
Is it because he doesn't listen? No, I'm just kidding.
I think that's real. I think they get used to hearing your voice, and our kids get to the point to where they respect the authority, but at the same time they're searching for independence. And so there's times when I can recommend or suggest that fundamentally he do a certain thing, and he tends to become deaf-toned sometimes when I recommend those things. So I get our quarterback coach here, Coach Ted White, who's known Jackson since he was a young kid, to tell him the exact same thing, and he'll be like, I got it.
How beneficial is it, because we saw him out here, just to kind of be around another voice, like you just said, just to kind of be out here around some of the guys and to kind of get a sense of what you do, too, the way you coach with these guys, too?
Well, I think it's a tremendous honor and privilege, and we appreciate the Texans organization for being a family-friendly environment. And, because as coaches, we spend a lot of time away from home, and so when our kids are able to come out, all of the coaches, all of our kids, sons, daughters, wives, the players' wives and children, come out after practice during training camp. That means a lot to us all. But I think it's a tremendous honor and privilege for Jackson to be able to come out here and be around our guys.
And finally, how excited are you of the potential that he has in front of him? If he does all the things and gets into the right spot, that he can make a little bit of a name for himself too in this.
Well, we'll take it one day at a time. We have a lot of trust in our coach over at Pearland High School. Coach P.J. Gott and our offensive coordinator, Coach Lane O'Connor. Those guys are very much well-respected coaches, and they're coming off a championship season. So we're hoping that the players at Pearland embrace their approach and their philosophy and go out and play winning football.
Nice insight from Pep there about his son Jackson. Good luck to Jackson as he starts his career with the Oilers down there in Pearland. The other interview that I have today is with Kendall Sheffield, defensive back. You may have heard that name before. He was a standout recruit from Marshall High School. Buffalo Run, if you follow our coverage on KHOU Sports, you know what Marshall football is all about. We featured them last year on the program. If you haven't seen that show, go check it out. It still lives on YouTube. It was a good experience with those guys. But Kendall was one of the ones that kind of started that development down there on Buffalo Run. He was a state champion in track, one of the fastest guys in college, one of the fastest guys in the NFL, as hopefully these guys blow by me pretty fast. But yeah, Kendall is now with the Texans, back home. He's kind of had a long journey. After he left Missouri City and Marshall High School, he went to Alabama, left the Crimson Tide, went to go play at Blinn Junior College, then transferred to Ohio State before getting drafted into the NFL. He played with the Falcons, was hurt here with the Texans at the beginning of camp, but now he's starting to see some playing time. Here's Kendall Sheffield reminiscing on his time at Marshall High School and his journey so far through the NFL. Kendall Sheffield here, DB for the Texans. You've been around for a while. You Missouri City product. I guess let's start there, man. Can you kind of talk about where you came from, all the ups and downs, and the journey that you've been through to get to back home and play with the Texans?
It's been a long journey. Coming from Houston, Missouri City, going to Fort Bend Marshall. Great school, great program. Just had a lot of ups and downs, but I fought through it, and I'm here right now, ready to work.
Let's talk about Buffalo Run a little bit. You smile. We actually did a whole feature on them last year, did a whole 30-minute show, high school hard knocks type deal. What do you remember about being on Buffalo Run and growing up there at Marshall?
Man, just the experience, just especially going to Marshall. Just especially track season, football season. Just having a lot of teammates and friends just all come together. There's nothing like high school football.
When you think about your time there, when you came through there, you kind of established a tradition and culture. Now they are the favorites, perennial favorites. How's that make you feel that you kind of launched that a little bit?
I'm a proud alumni. It started before me with D. Wash, really Coach Williams, and he started it all. He changed the whole program, changed everything about Marshall. Going to state a couple years back to back. Even the track team, Coach Lloyd Banks, he's doing a phenomenal job with the track program. Won state last couple years, girls and boys. So I'm proud of Marshall.
Do you still keep in touch with those guys a little bit?
Yes, sir, I do.
What are those conversations? You like, oh man, you keep doing it, right? Is it when they went to the state back to back? That's got to make you feel so cool that because you were a 5-star DB coming out of there, and you helped kind of create what they started there.
I'm just proud of the whole program, the whole school, especially like I said, track and football. We're doing amazing things, and Coach Williams, Coach Banks, they're holding it down for Missouri City.
What's the biggest thing that you've learned through all your ups and downs in the league, going to Blinn, all the things you did in college and getting to this point? What's the biggest thing you've kind of take away from this journey?
I just keep pushing. It's always, the next day is always going to be the better day. Just hold my head up, be confident, and just keep pushing.
What do you feel like your opportunity is here with the Texans? What's the vibe with Lovey, this defense? It seems like all the guys we talk to, I mean, everybody's like kind of bought in. And I think Lovey has a big part in doing that.
Yeah, you definitely got to buy in the system. That's one of the first things you got to do to get on the field is buy the system. And I love it here. I mean, Coach Lovey Smith is a phenomenal coach, great person, and I love it here.
Kendall has definitely come a long way, that's for sure. That Buffalo Run tradition goes pretty strong. Now those guys are the favorites in track and field every single year. All right, that's going to do it. Day 12 of Texans training camp in the books. I'll see you guys later for more Texans coverage, either online or on our platforms on air. That's going to do it. NRG Stadium, Daniel Gotera reporting. I'll see you later.